Dear Esther, today I started playing your game. What's up? Let's not bit. Let's not get too emotional here. Let's try to not get too suicidal after this game. Welcome to Dear Esther. This game is a kind of a adventure mystery. Not much action going on, but it's a little bit creepy, a little bit horror in it. You pretty much walk around, solve puzzles, I suppose, or it's more of a, experimental thing. Just, yeah. But I'm not really sure about it. I saw small trailers of it, but it seemed kind of okay. It seemed kind of legit. It seemed kind of very artful, I would say. So if you're down for some awesome experience with me, Original Spring, your man, then you came to the right place. I hope, I suppose. I think I do so hope. But let's get started. The lighthouse, and is there only four? It seems to be only four stages. Okay, let's go with the lighthouse. Play this chapter, yes, of course. I did try it out a little bit, but I didn't get further than the shore. So,
Dear Esther, I've lost track of how long I've been here, and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
alright. So you pretty much see what I mean. It's very emotional, very melancholic, actually. But what I did find out was, I didn't really check this very thoughtfully, this whole place. But I did find some sort of clue. I'm just double checking the walls everywhere. Oh look, here we see. What's this? What does this say? No, Hebridean history. A Hebridean history. What's a Hebridean, anyways? So this seems to be somewhere where the lighthouse keeper would sleep, I think, or work. I have no idea what those sounds are. But here, look at this. This is actually a molecule. If you're not familiar with chemistry, this is... fuck, I have to think about it a little bit before I can actually give you accurate name of the compound. But let's see, it's no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't tell you. But this is some sort of organic compound. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's something. I don't know. I'm not sure really. But I can look up that and see what that is actually, and I'll get you that compound's name whoa. What the hell just happened? What's wrong with this guy? He just went down like a weirdo. Never mind. Well, I'll get you the name of that molecule in the next episode. For now, I don't really feel like going out and tabbing out and watching things. Why are these paint things glowing? Look, if I move my light away from it, it kind of glows. Never mind. It's a bunch of no, nothing. There's a bunch of paint in there. And before we actually go towards upwards there at the mountain, I'm gonna go and head and look at the shore down here, see if we can find something. Sorry, but there's not much more controls than WASD and a simple zoom in function. Except for that, there is really nothing else. Let me just double check. I'm a little bit unsure right now, but let me see. Yeah, there you go. Swim up. Swim up. Well, I can put this into something. I guess we can put it into Q. Come on. We'll put it in Q. Because I did fall. Changes have been made. Discard the current. No, wait. Cancel. How do I? Done. There we go. I did fall in the water before, and it seems like I actually wasn't able to get up, and I think it's because I didn't have a button allocated for the swim up action. So, I see that lighthouse. It caught my attention in the beginning. I think that is something it wants us to notice, so I'll be going towards that later. The water water is falling into the water. It was pretty creepy. I'm gonna be honest. It's not regular water. It's like so dark. You just kind of get creeped out a little bit. There's a little bunch of crap here and there. What is it? Oh, there's a can. What is that? Coca-Cola? Looks like a green can. Green cans are not Coca-Cola. Oh shit! I should have been even mentioning them. I'm not too good with these copyright things and all. I don't know. I heard people, like, I've seen other Let's Players in complain about it, but I don't understand copyrights and
At
stuff
night,
like
you can see the lights sometimes
that.
from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs, they are mundane. Down here, they fugue into ambiguity. For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
Very, very beautiful antagonist. Antagonist. I can't. I'm not as good as him. I'm sorry about that. I wish I could speak as fluently as he does. Interesting. Okay, let's see what this... What does this mean? Is that an arrow or... What is this? Let's try to remember this. You can actually take screenshots with F6. So I took... Okay, no, it's not in-game thing. It's like out-game. Okay. I got you. Never mind. I was stupid. I'm trying to remember that in my head. You guys can probably like scroll back into the past in YouTube and see that again if you want to. So now we have two things we have to remember. The 2C and 6H compound molecule.
I found myself to be as featureless
That
as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Okay, what is this? Well, I got a third thing to try to remember. I feel I have a pretty good memory capability, so I'm not too worried about that. I don't think we should be going this way anymore. I don't want to fall in the water. It's the creepiest thing that ever happened to me. It goes all like spazzing out and shit, and it's, I don't know. It just... you kind of wait for some sort of dead thing just pop up in your face. I don't know. It's like a perfect scare moment, but it never happens, and it kind of keeps you in that moment of fear and anticipation, which I don't like. You know, I'd rather have the fear and get it done with than actually keep it waiting for me. Gotta take a look at this again. Okay. Well, let's go back all the way. There's no sprint button. Woo woo. God. But I must say, graphics aren't top quality stuff, really. So you won't be able... I mean, the aesthetics are a different thing, though. Let me tell you, the graphics, the technology which is used in this game isn't the best. I think it's actually Source Engine. I'm not sure, but I do think it's Source Engine, which is not bad. It has its own sort of reality thing to it, but it's the textures which are not the greatest, I think. Very detailed, but not very high resolution. So that's kind of what bothers me. But I think the aesthetics to this game is very interesting. Right now we're at some sort of a Nordic-looking, well, island, small island, it seems. I have not figured out how to really interact with anything yet, because there is no button to use for interactions. There is only a zoom in button and a swim up button. Except for that, there's only directional keys. So,
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
Interesting. I saw that in the some info about this game before I started playing it was that
When
this
someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or a fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
it is of the mind. No, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, this man, which we are hearing all the time, seems to be some sort of a man writing a book. The hell was that sound? Never mind. But also, at the same time, he seems to be dying, which is interesting. He said it as well, not too long ago. I'm trying to, like, go.
They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance, that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradiction?
I'm gonna go up here and see what's up. But yeah, I'm trying to walk like everywhere. I don't want to miss anything, like scribbled on the rocks or something. Yeah, it's just backtracks. Okay. I know there's that place at the beginning. We didn't go upwards towards the hill. We just went along the shore. But I'm not sure really. The cool thing about this game is actually that, you know, you take different paths, and the thing about that is, depending on where you go and what you do, where you look at, it simply gives you a different storytelling. And this guy, which is telling the story for us, says different things, and that way it's kind of cool how the story simply develops how you move and what you do, what you look at, basically. So that's a nice future.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason, or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
I can hear a heartbeat. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I hear some noises, man. As I said, this game has a little bit of horror to it. And, well, you guys don't know me that well, but I'll tell you, horror is one hell of a problem I have. But I will endure it if it means to actually completing something or needing to move on. I will do it. So, I think that's also the most fun about this game, is the horror side of it.
This hermit, this seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why? Asked the farmers. Why? Asked Jacobson. Why bother with your visions at all, if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
Interesting. This seems to be paint. The same paint. Oh look, there's the same molecule. There's that compound we saw before, but it seems now it has also... Oh, wait a second. This is alcohol, actually. It seems this is alcohol because that is OH up there. That is something special which alcohol compounds have. And I don't know really what that is. Well, I'm pretty glad I took chemistry class. Yeah, this is definitely this... Did that other sign of this have... What is this? Is it E or is it C? I think that's C. That gotta be C. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is some sort of alcohol compound. It looks pretty much the same, but I'm not sure what those triangles are. Let's continue and see what we can find. Okay. Well, that's gonna be hard to remember. And these are just random things, I think. I'm not sure. This looks like a tree. This cave seems to be going back outside here now. I think we're going towards the ship, which... Oh god, okay. Alright, I don't know what that was, but I tell you, I get easily creeped out. Sorry about that. Well, yeah, it seems like we went down in a circle by going into this cave. We're outside again, but I'm not sure how we would ever get to that ship over there. It doesn't seem that that seems to be the goal here. Well, let's just move forward now. We're on this other side of this, some sort of a collapsed river thingy here. This should be the way to the lighthouse, which we did see from afar. What was this? Oh yeah, this stage was called the lighthouse, right? I think maybe the name indicates the goal in the stage. Oh, the water is simply nice. I must say, the water is nice. As I thought, this game is pretty much an experience
He still maintains
game.
he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
Oh, something new here. Again, this looks like a organic compound, but this is something else. This is N. What's N now again? Nitra? No, I don't know. God, nitrous? I don't know. I don't remember that well. Chemistry class was 1 year ago, but I'm glad I still do remember some things about it. Now I do have some questions. Oh yeah, about the game. I was gonna say this is more for the experience, the sightseeing, if you want to say so. But yeah, one question that pops up in your mind is, who the hell are we? Are we the antagonist, the storyteller, or are we some person who found that book in the house? Maybe we, who knows? Maybe we're actually reading that book. Maybe it is the story which is written in that book which we are hearing. Who knows? Jesus, this is not good. I don't like darkness. Okay. And as we jump down into the darkness of the loading screen, load it up. So far, it is interesting for me. I hope you guys feel the same. But it's maybe because
Dear Esther,
I'm a little bit
I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times.
enrolled in it.
But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Well, I'll go in the middle. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do, but I'll go in the middle. I kind of want to get down there. So where's the lighthouse now again? I think the lighthouse over there, towards the sun, but it's not. It's being covered up by the mountains. So this place, man. I'm loving the aesthetics to this. Maybe something about this is very nostalgic for me. I live in Sweden, and pretty much some landscapes in Sweden do look very much like this. Well, except for the crashed down boats and all oil ships, but except for that, it's pretty much like this. The sand is it's very much mixed up with the dirt and the vegetation, the kind of spiky vegetation. It's not a mild, it's not a soft sand, or if you want to say it like that. It's kind of cool for me. I kind of do recognize myself in these environments. Pretty cool. I see no way of actually getting in there. That was kind of creepy. The music went on to false tones. Another thing I really hate is darkness, false tones. I mean, false tones are a really great way of actually making a scary environment for the player. Definitely. Well, yeah. I think we walked over there, didn't we? No, I think you can walk there, but we didn't. We took this path, which I think will lead around and eventually to the lighthouse. No, it actually ends up here.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Well, yeah, perhaps there is. Well, I could go ahead and quick save. So there we go, now we have a quick save, and I'm gonna try to actually get into the water. Because supposedly you are able to swim. But how to actually get into the water is the problem. There's invisible boundaries just covering these rocks everywhere, making it a bit of a hassle to actually get down to the shore. Some boxes here. Again with the invisible boundaries. Damn it. They're like everywhere. Hermits. What the hell is he talking about? Like, what does it mean with hermits? You would think you could just squeeze your way in there, but you can't do that. You're not that flexible. You're one of those, you know, very melancholic, good-looking guys who are walking around like can't do much. Either you can crouch, that's the most like flexible thing you can do, but you can't even do that in this game. So a hole in the ship, right? There's no hole in this ship. No. Well, let's just walk this path, see where that would lead us. Maybe there's a way to actually get down into the water from that side. Come on, go! Wow. Oh look, there's a lighthouse again, but we're walking away from it. I would like to get to that lighthouse, but just don't know. There seems to be a path right in the middle there. Aw, damn it, I think I missed that, yeah. We'll probably have to backtrack back to that place. But before we do that, I will just take a quick look at what is there to be found here. Maybe this is the path which you would take if you would walk.
All night the boy has kept me lucid. I sat when I was at the very edge of despair, when I thought I would never unlock the secret of the island. I sat at the edge, and I watched the idiot boy blink through the night. He is mute, and he is retarded, and he has no thought in his metal head but to blink each wave and each minute aside until the morning comes and renders him blind as well as deaf-mute. In many ways, we have much in common.
Well, if you don't know what he meant, he was talking about the little thing in the middle of the water which was blinking green. He referred him as a retarded boy. Very interesting view of perspective this game has. But I'm thinking I'm just gonna slide down this mountain now and get down to that place. Well, no, I'm not gonna quick load. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and slide down. Well, no, let's see. This seems to be actually be going around up to the mountain and towards that lighthouse. No, so we continue this path. We'll do it. No, wait a second. That's actually no. Oh crap! Just totally backtracked to where I came from. It's okay. We'll make our way over there. We'll make our way over there. Is the sun setting or is it rising? The sky is actually moving. Very awesome. And wow, the sun is actually going behind the rocks. Oh crap. Is it actually going all the way? Ah, the sky is just hypnotic. Wow. They got much of the feeling right to this game. Let's see. It should be right around here. Right around this rock right here. There should be a
I
way.
had kidney
Yeah.
stones, and you visited me in the hospital after the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic. Your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Wow. Well, I don't want to say funny story, but well, relating story. My father has actually a kidney stone right now. He's gonna have an operation today, actually. Very interesting, don't you think? And it's pretty big. It's as big as like your thumb, but imagine it's like folded in and into
I've
a
begun
into
my
a ball.
ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
Oh well, yeah. But so yeah, it's a pretty big kidney stone. They have to actually do surgical removing of it, because you know, ordinary people with small kidney stones actually pee it out, and yeah. Well, from what I've heard, it does hurt a lot, like super a lot. The pain is unbearable, but you know, it's like giving birth, but through your dick. But yeah, his is too big to actually be peed out. The penis would explode, unfortunately. But yeah, let's not talk about that anymore.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Carve white lines into the cliff for him. So those lines that we saw in the cliff, are they supposed to be some sort of indication of death for people? This looks like very similar to the compounds we saw. It looks, well, the structure of it looks similar, but it's not the same thing. What does it mean actually? It doesn't have any elements in it. I don't think it's a molecule, never mind. Maybe I shouldn't be mixing these up with chemistry. I don't know. But they should mean something. They kind of looks like the same thing, but I don't know. Let's see what's in this house. What is with this paint? It glows. It glows and it's... Oh crap. Creepy house. Let's brace ourselves.
Inventory. A trestle table we spread wallpaper on in our first home. A folding chair. I laughed at you for bringing camping in the lakes. I was uncomfortable later and you laughed then. This diary. The bed with the broken springs. Once asleep you have to remember not to dream. A change of clothes. Donnelly's book, stolen from Edinburgh Library on the way here. I will burn them all on the last morning and make an aerial of my own.
Is this a bed? Someone used a sleeping bag here. Oh, what's this? Ah, man, I can't read that. What the hell? Okay, it's not in Latin letters. It seems to be something else. Whoa. Hello there, birdie. That looked like some sort of Greek letters. Well, we're going back down now, following the path still. The lighthouse is once again shrouded by the mountains. Okay, that's a big fall. Wow. Wow. How could such a landscape actually take place? I mean, it means that water have poured in here all the time, but it looks pretty dry in there. No, it does not. Sorry about that. I see there small rivers of water flowing in there. Yeah. Damn. It's a game. It's not real life. Of course, any landscape can take shape in this game. Ah, why do I always have to be so analytical?
In a footnote, the editor comments that at this point, Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk driver. He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes.
Well, it's because of the glowing paint. I mean, of course they glow.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
Well, is this antagonist talking about me? I don't know. I'll have that in mind and see what it says as we move forward. What is that? Oh, newspaper. Yeah, I did hear that creepy scream, and I see that we're heading towards a creepy cave. Ah, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Some sort of light coming out of it. Can you see that?
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Creepiness is just kicking in, I guess. Ah, man. That's really beautiful, but it is horrible feeling. And the loading screen appears. Well, it seems maybe we're like walking in the footsteps of the storyteller, and he is kind of predicting our future. But I'm not so sure yet. But this is getting kind of creepier. Oh. No. Well, that's what you get for jumping into a cave. Hello, flashlight.
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is, has gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us and whatever correspondence could be drawn from the wet rocks.
Well, there seems to be some questions raised from the environment which we hold ourselves within right now. First off, why are the rocks glowing? And second of all, who lit the candles and who placed them there and just left them? But first off, I'm just gonna investigate this rock here, if I can get up to it. I think I can't. No. Doesn't seem I can do that. See what the water has in store for us. I have no reflection. Am I even alive? Am I a person or a vampire? Once again, the question raised from all of this is, who the hell am I? Ah, man. What is glowing here? Come on, crystallized water doesn't glow that much. Interesting thing, if you're not sure what these spikes on the roof are... Whoa. Once again with the falling. Those... the way these sort of spikes are created is by water, actually, because as you can see, water is dropping down from them. Well, not in this game, not all of them, but in real life, water always drops down from these, and that is the water that is sipping through the rocks. They bring with them, in themselves, minerals, which then latch on to these before they actually drop off from the this crystallized rock itself. They latch onto the rock, and the water gets separated and falls down, and that way these things grow. And that's a little bit of historism. That's a little bit of studying and learning with Original Spring. You're welcome. You don't have to thank me. Here's a candle again. Let's see.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
Yeah, someone freaking got it. Wow, someone really gone wild with the paintings here. What the hell is that? Wait a second, is that? No. I thought that was the mark we saw before. Never mind. Oh, okay, I'm walking into the... Ugh. And yeah, and by the way, these crystallized forms which rise from the ground are actually... this is not legit. This one right here, because for this one to exist, there must be a crystal spike hanging above from it. Because these two, the thing is, when this actually drops down water, the minerals which some of the water actually brings down with it, actually lands on the ground, and that way, it creates a pillar from the ground and rises up, and it lands on the pillar each time, you know. And that way that it's created. I hope I explained that well. I hope you understand, but yeah, it's kind of cool. I was really into caves and stuff like that when I was a little bit younger, but you know, pretty much more than that, I don't know about caves. And I can tell you that all caves are always wet like this, so they got that one right, because the way caves are being actually created is by the water sipping into it and creating, you know, just digging out holes in it. So these are actually... Fuck, stop falling off. What's with this guy? Stumbles upon the rocks and